I guess if there's then if I don't knock you over.
Sure.
Anyways, my question is in regards to affordable water for the golf courses in Mesquite. You know, water is a precious resource, and we have effluent available, and we have ditch water, and then we have potable water. How is the city involved in making sure that we have, you know, affordable water that's economically feasible to keep our golf courses going?
Kathy, I'm sorry?
He just said he can't answer.
You can't answer that. Okay, I was going to ask you, but that's okay. Water in this community is essentially handled by a separate entity, the Virgin Valley Water District. Probably is a question asked to them. I know the city has some sort of a tangential connection with water and golf courses, but I don't have enough information to be able to answer that question as well as I could. Richard, is that something you want to take a shot at, or Aaron? Oh, Bill, I didn't see him. Hey, we got the right guy here. Bill Tanner, our public works there. Come on, Bill. Can't hide.
Aren't you glad you came?
The lady's question is affordable reuse. I'm trying to find out what affordable means.
Well, in the effluent at this point, there's not enough for us to even start taking it. But I know we have, you know, the city has a representative on the Virgin Valley Water District Board. And so it's kind of like, what's the city's position in, with their representative on the board to assure that we can enter into rates that work for all of the golf courses here in the state. And then along with, you know, the effluent, what's the projection for that we would even have that available for everybody to use?
Right, and right now not having effluent available for everybody, we're providing it to the ones that we are at 2 million gallons a day at 22 cents a thousand. That's pretty affordable. We talked about increasing those rates 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and that's been on hold. Our rates are still at 22 cents a thousand, and we'll be evaluating that in 2014, this next year. With the water district, their rates and how they base their irrigation shares, what they're doing with their leases on the irrigation shares, that's up to the board. Currently, we have one member from the city that is on that board. That goes away as of legislation in the next election, I believe. Everyone will be voted into that position. So those board members will, all 5 of them will be voted in. And so we're talking about affordable rates for water will be based off of some of our costs to dispose of water, to treat the water. And right now, through my treatment plan in 2012, it cost the city $3.85 a thousand to treat that water and dispose of it. That's what our costs are based on all of our operation and maintenance and our service fees that we receive. We're spending $3.85 a thousand. We're selling the reuse to the golf courses at 22 cents a thousand. Now there are plus benefits for doing that. The golf courses provide a disposal site for our reuse. I don't have to go out and build large $1 million capital improvement funds or projects to dispose of that water. So I think that for the past and the future, we've evaluated reuse water, and we've been really, really competitive for. We understand how important golf is to our community. We understand that we need them to dispose of our water, but we also believe they should pay a fee for that. And so that fee is going to be adjusted upon what mayor and council and staff recommends in the next couple of years. And I anticipate that to go up, but I don't believe it will be a significant amount. Currently, that wouldn't affect Wolf Creek. They're in a contract with the Virgin Valley Water District, and for the irrigation shares that the water district is providing, I believe they're paying about 11 cents a thousand for water. So once our growth and our water is produced enough to us, which that's what we're anticipating, we would have had that growth by now without the residential subdivisions and that developed out. Right now we're about 2.5 to 2.3 to 2.5 million gallons a day of reuse that we dispose of in the summertime. And then the other golf courses, Falcon Ridge and Oasis, they take 1 million gallons a day, 365 days a year, and then the excess water they need is supplemented by their irrigation shares. So they have irrigation shares that they utilize also, that they own. So that's kind of it. Any other questions on?
Yes, off the subject a little bit, but the water board's reporting less water usage. Have you seen that same trend at the treatment plant where you've seen less treatment, or do you think the savings is more coming from the irrigation than the actual, house use?
What has happened and what we're seeing is we've seen a reduction when the economy went down in total flow. We were running 1.8 to 2 million gallons a day, and now we've increased that. What's happened at the water district, in my opinion, is you keep increasing your rates. People keep modifying their landscape, and that's what has happened. You've seen it all over our community, and it will continue to happen. If the rates go up again, people will modify their landscaping again. The percentage of water that the water district uses and the percentage that I receive is about, I believe, 25 to 35%. We've been in that range for years, so nothing has really changed as far as water conservation has always been in place since 1994. So our low flow toilets, our showers and that, those have been in place for a long time. So we're not seeing that modifying our flows. Sometimes we have spurts where people buy a lot of houses or are retired, but they're not living here yet. We have a number of houses out there that aren't contributing at all to our system. They're paying the fees because they have to. That's how our ordinance is set up. But we're receiving the fees. They're just not producing as much water. We're running about 110 to 180 gallons per day per ERU. And our design flow is 250 gallons per day.
Just one comment, the ditch water, while it is averaging about 11 cents per thousand, it's kind of misleading because the ditch water is so abrasive on the pipes, the pumps, and everything that you end up ultimately paying, in reality, more than 11 cents per thousand. Because it just eats up your pipes, rocks go through the pumps and that's the end of that, and
we actually, I would figure it out. If you were using reuse, you're paying more than 22 cents a thousand probably with all your maintenance in that. Yeah. With reuse, you don't have the high TDS. Our TDS is lower. The silt, the sediment that's in it, the clay, all of that stuff you pump up here ends up on your golf course, which restricts your grass from absorbing. It just creates problems. And that's why back when I entered into agreements with Cyred and Fortune for Royal Heights, Falcon Ridge, they understood that paying a little bit more for reuse, they were still saving money because the quality of that water is 10 times better, and it has enough nitrate, a small amount of nitrates in the water. We keep our nitrate, we nitrify, denitrify the treatment plant to keep the nitrates below 7 milligrams per liter, which is mandated by the state. If we go above that, the golf courses could all enter into an effluent management plan for higher nitrates. Then you have to drill monitoring wells and monitor your site. We've elected years ago to keep that under 7, no monitoring is required. That reduces the cost to everybody that's using reuse.